interview today with Melvin Buckley, and this is called Life After the Workout. And what it's about is the new series that we're doing according to our fitness podcast is to, what I'm trying to do is just, kill the myth that working out is just for working out, getting big arms, big butt, whatever. It's like, it's your life. It's part of your work. It definitely helps you with health. And as you'll hear Melvin, he's had to overcome a lot of medical obstacles. And working out and being healthy, this is a guy I've been on for well over 25 years that, he believes in what I believe in. Working out, health and fitness is your key to life, So, um, uh, you're married or single?
I'm married.
Okay. How long you been married?
I've been married for 10 years now.
Okay. So you've been married for 2 years. You have how many kids?
I have two children.
Two children. Okay. What is your take on the importance of health and fitness in everyday life, everyday work? Because you own real estate, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's let him tell us the story. I know you used to own McDonald's. Mm-hmm. You had steak and shake, stuff like that. So, let him tell his story.
Well, my name's Melvin Buckley. As you've stated, you and I have known each other for God knows how many years, probably more like 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
When we worked out a little bit at quads and things of that nature, that's kind of where we met. And I think the quad mentality, if you will, for guys and ladies who worked out there all the years, chances are they still work out now.
Right.
It actually became a fraternity and a sorority. And guys that I run into now, even like yourself, that still have that mentality that I must take care of myself. I think back then, many of us was just so competitive that we just want to be strong. Want to be stronger. We didn't understand the benefit of it, at least I didn't, until I got older and realized how much I needed it.
Right.
And being an athlete from years and years ago, playing college basketball at Chicago State, I got injured. And when I got injured, I redshirted a year, which meant I sat out, and I tried to heal from a cracked fibula in my leg. Soon I realized, after sitting out that first year, that I was not going to be the same. I was never going to be the same athlete. I was quick, agile, I could jump, and all those things contributed to my being able to get a shot off. Well, when that leg goes, everybody can keep up with it. You can't get a shot off. So I had to realize real soon that was going to be my life. Now, thank God I was a student athlete. I graduated from Chicago State. But after the injury, I started focusing more on lifting, trying to get strong. And then meeting guys like yourself and others and seeing you guys achieve so much in that industry, I took a liking to it and then a love for it. Moving forward, we were, like I said, we were very competitive and everything, but as life went on and I got in the corporate world, whether it was Xerox at first, selling colored products nationally and that kind of thing, and then moved on to McDonald's and being fortunate enough to be a black operator. I learned that staying in shape allowed me to work the hours I was working. When you're competitive, you just don't quit. You realize that the formula for success is not getting there first, but making sure you get there.
Right.
And so I use the analogy all the time. If I'm in a marathon with marathon runners, and it's a 25-mile marathon, and everybody gets there before me, but I get there, there's a hell of a lot more people behind me who never tried that I beat than the 25 guys that beat me to the marathon. So it makes us all winners, and as long as we don't quit, we win.
Right.
And so fast forward, back in 2014, I went for a regular checkup. And with that checkup, I found out that I had two things that I never thought I'd have. I had cancer, and I had kidney disease. And to get that information at the same time from just having your blood drawn was kind of startling. So I went home, and I sat in my room. I had a pity party for about a half hour. But the nature of winning kicked in about a half hour later, and I said, okay, let's fight. So I got all the information I needed about cancer. I ended up getting 25 treatments of radiation to beat the cancer. And ironically enough, prior to that, as I mentioned, I was dealing with kidney disease. And so when I found out I had cancer and I got it taken care of, what I didn't know was that to get a kidney transplant, you needed to be 2 years free of cancer. So I had to go on dialysis for 1 year before I could get a transplant, of which my wife was my donor. I had a nephew who was also a match. So I was blessed because kind of God had my back, and my wife was a perfect match for me. And so I after that year, the anniversary of the 2 years, we did the transplant. And I will tell you that that year of being on dialysis was one of the toughest experiences of my life. I started out strong. I'd go sit on that machine for 4 hours. I would get up after that and go get on the elliptical and work out a little bit because it's our nature, right? It's our nature. After about 6 months, it was wearing on me. But I had enough. I weighed about 285 when all this happened. You remember I was benching 465, squatting, all of that stuff, but I was strong. And after a year, though, I got the transplant. And as I always say to people, when I looked at myself in the mirror after the war, because, after a war of dialysis, after a war of feeling lightheaded, after a war of getting dizzy when you walk downstairs and having to pause, none of that was who I was. It was like a shrewd awakening that I am not Melvin. Because Melvin was no longer Melvin. Melvin was weightlifting. Melvin was cardio. Melvin was all of those things. That's what encompassed Melvin. And I was without all of it for a minute. And so after the transplant, and I looked in the mirror, and the 285 pounds was kind of loose skin and hanging off me, scared me to death. And I went to the gym. I didn't come out for 30 days. And the good news is that when you do commit to a lifestyle change, you have what we call, as you know, muscle memory. And so our bodies start to wake up. And that's what happened for me. Even moving forward, I've always known you and Chi, and I reached out. And I needed to do something better, and I talked to your wife, and she set me up with a diet, which was pretty much more important than anything I had done. We all lift, and when I really focused on the diet that she gave me, I began to see what I never saw, which was not powerlifting, which was not size. It was fitness. And so what we're looking for in today's environment at 63 years old is fitness. I don't need to bench 460 pounds. I don't need to bench 300. And so I don't. And I go in, and I one of the routines that she offered as well, I still do, and my body has leaned out. I'm a 36 waist. I ain't seen a 36 since I was less than 36. I'm 63. And understanding fitness, which is what you guys do at your company, is, I think, the biggest offering there is in the business. And if they don't come and look at underdogs, they are missing out on a chance to change their lives. Not, their body, but their lives. And the body will come with it. And so that's what I believe that's important in today's environment, and why I try my best to stay fit versus bulky. And it's been a blessing, and I just tell you, it's an honor to even be on the show here with you.
Yeah, that's good. It's what people need to hear, man. I'm definitely glad you made it, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a inspiration because, like you know, I went through a stroke a couple of years ago,
That's
and like you said, when you start to look and be like, no, that's not the person I knew.
right. Right.
You know, so you know, me having to go through all my medication and
Absolutely.
all the things I had to go through, you start to look at, but once again, you realize, wait a minute, I've been here before, I can do this again.
Yes.
No, I'm not trying to be what I was at 21, but I'm better than, like I say, most of the people that I beat.
When you look at the millions that you beat out who never tried,
You're right.
you are a major winner.
Right. Yeah.
So as long as people don't quit, they win. And if you really want to change your lives, then you got to get with people that understand that.
Right.
And I've been doing this for a long time. I've had a lot of people reach out and ask for my advice, and I've given it to them. And a lot of that information actually comes from you and Chi, and I'll forever be grateful for that, and forever grateful for quads, because that's where we learn this mentality. And I don't ever want to quit.
Yeah, that's like one of the things that actually a significant part of this particular program that I'm talking about is that people. It's great to work out and want to learn, because nowadays everybody want to work out, everybody want to compete, everybody want to do. It's like learning, you know, the lessons that you learn about goal setting and not giving up and not never quitting. When you really sign into those programs,
Absolutely.
it's way more. No one can ever take it away from you. You never forget it, and it will always be a part of your life. It's so very important to work out and take care of yourself. It's people don't really, you know. I see a lot of people, especially in today's world, they don't really take care of themselves like they should, and they don't think it matters. They don't think it makes a difference. That was the point of why we created this program or this podcast. It's so it do make a difference.
It makes a difference.
You know, it can save your life. It can give you life.
It'll motivate you. Let me tell you something else that happened with this experience I had. So you always known I've been a McDonald's operator. I've been a Steak and Shake operator. I've even had the pleasure of building out a couple because of my construction company, Buckley Construction. But during that year where I experienced that weakness and fighting through disease and all of those things, I went to dialysis centers. You know, when I first started, I was in this dialysis center, and I noticed that a lot of people couldn't get to their appointments, couldn't get back home from appointments, and I was blessed enough to be able to do that.
Right.
And so my wife and I started a company about 2 years ago now called Miracle Medical Transportation, because of what we saw, because we saw people needed to get there. And most people don't realize that that service of transportation is covered in their insurance, and they don't even know it.
Right.
And so we started this company, and now we transport, I can't tell you how many dialysis patients to their appointments, because we experienced it. And my wife was a perfect match for me. Who could have thought, you know, and gave me a kidney. And most people, if you looked at me today, if I didn't tell you that, you wouldn't know.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who had transplants, right?
Mm.
The problem is they don't put the time in to recover physically with just the thing that you're talking about in your program. Understanding that I gotta be fit. I gotta find a Chi, somebody that can teach me how to be, physically fit.
Right.
And that's on the inside and out. See, the difference between her and many, many trainers was she never just talked about the physical, because she knew I knew how to pump iron.
Right.
She was in our lives all these years. But she focused on, what are you eating?
Right.
What are you eating? And when you love yourself, and that's what I tell people, you know, everybody, I could ask everybody in the room or on radio, TV, podcast, and say, do you love yourself? Everybody can say yes. Your body is a reflection of how much you love it. End of conversation.
Yeah.
And if you like what you see and you don't think it can be better, then you like what you see.
Right.
But see, the one thing we can't do is fool ourselves, because we always want to get better.
Right.
And we always know when we get ready to get in the shower where we're short. Right? Or where we need to work on. And so as long as you don't fool yourself, you can keep moving forward and get there.
Right.
And so programs like yours, that's what does it. We are excited of being able to assist people to get to their appointments. We got like 10 cars. We've got a couple of new opportunities that have just arisen where we'll be probably in Springfield, Carbondale, City of Chicago, transporting people to their appointments. And I had the pleasure for 6 months when we started this company of driving myself. I drove people to dialysis, and I can't tell you how many conversations I had with people that encouraged them because they can see me and see that we can bounce back.
Yeah.
We can bounce back 100%.
It's as like what you point out with the transportation company. There's so many different ways to help people.
Absolutely.
And that's why I love the fitness lifestyle so much. I fell in love with it when I was at Quad.
That's right.
You know, it's if people really took the time to learn and see how great it is and how it can help you as a person, and that's the topic of this particular podcast that we do, is that's giving back. You know, you give back. You've been there, and people adhere to it because you're speaking from experience. You know, and that's what we try to do with the fitness lifestyle. You know, but anytime you try to get somebody to be fit about themselves, they think you're trying to sell your services. Oh, you need some clients, huh? You know, and it's more so just, it's very, very important to me because I understand what it's like to not be fit, to not take care of yourself. And it's just, it's I can preach the word of fitness is what I've decided to do since I was, like you said, you've been knowing me 30, 40 years. So I joined and I learned myself the important values of learning what you need to do. Not just lifting, not just big arms. We all been through that. But at the same time, like I know people that they never learned that part. They just thought it was all about working out.
Yeah.
And it offers so much more when you understand it and when you look at it and you look at it and you be like, man, it offers so much more. And that was the point of the podcast is that, you know, life after the workout, you know, it's great. It will save your life. It'll keep you out the grave. It'll bring you back. You know, it's all.
And it's after the trainer.
Yeah.
It's after everything. When everybody go on.
Yeah.
It's just you. It's just you and what you really feel about yourself.
Right.
You know, and when you realize, the one thing I understood was that when you see results, it'll keep you coming back.
Yeah.
But you got to commit to do that.
Right.
But once you do that, and I tell people all the time when they ask, I said, oh, you need a personal trainer. And you need a good personal trainer that's going to talk nutrition and that's going to talk fitness.
Right.
And you need a trainer that's going to call you.
Right.
That's going to push you through the I could do it tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
And when you get through that, one thing we know is that once we got it, didn't nobody have to wonder whether or not we were coming to the gym.
Right.
We was on our way.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing about getting through it. It's great that, and it took us 3-4 weeks to get you, but you know we understand you're busy. You know, for people to understand it, like I say, when we say it, they just think we're trying to sell our service. You know, but to hear a person who has lived it and been through all the things that you've been through, ups and downs, and you know, maintaining and understanding even after those things happen. Wait a minute, I know what to do. I know how to work out. I know, you know, and like you said, I ain't trying to be like I was when I was 21. I'm trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm a lot leaner than I used to be, and I tell you what, I can run up some stairs a lot faster too. So, you know, there are benefits to it. And as you get older, let me tell you something. You don't need all that weight.
Exactly.
I don't need 285.
Yeah.
I think I weigh 230 this morning. And it's a different 230.
Yeah.
Because when I got through with the battle of cancer and dialysis, I weighed 247, but it didn't look like this 230.
Right.
That 247 looked like I'd been through a war. You know, the 247, now at 230, I look so much better. I'm
Right.
fit.
Right.
You know, and people got to realize that weight has nothing to do with fitness.
Right.
If you are fit and you weigh 250 pounds, you shredded and you look wonderful. If you are fit and you weigh 118, you are in shape and you are looking wonderful.
Right.
But if you've got excess weight around your waist and your under your arms and things like that, there are things you need to do to work on that,
Right.
so that you can be healthy. It means more. I'll never forget, guys. I was feeling down and I was praying. And you got to be careful what you ask God. I said, Lord, you can have the golden arches. You can have all these properties. Just give me my health back. If you give me my health back, Lord, I know I can win.
Right.
I got all my health back. Now the McDonald's are gone.
Yeah.
He heard me. You know, and I laugh about that all the time, but I meant it. I meant it. Because now I have miracle medical that at some point will probably make having McDonald's look like a part-time job.
Right.
So God is actually good, and he hears your prayers. And as long as you mean it, he'll give you what you ask for.
Right.
So I encourage everybody to find a trainer, get over there to Underdog, and find out what's going on over there, because I'm telling you, there are some wonderful gems there, as in diamonds,
Right.
that you can get and change your life. And she is a perfect example, because I've known her before she got heavy into this business, and now she's an incredible picture of health, turned pro doing it. Talk about a commitment.
Won a pro show.
And right, and won a pro show, and then I've known you at your very best.
Right.
Nobody had better legs. Nobody, you know what I mean? I learned so much from being around you guys, and for that I'll be forever grateful, because I'm healthy today for my commitment to it and for the things that I've learned from those around me. And so I look forward to your next podcast. If there's anything I can do, you guys reach out to me. Love you both. This is an outstanding program, and the topic is very much needed.
Right.
If we can reach one,
Right.
then it was worth it.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I look at it. If we can reach one person that changes their lives and realize what we're saying about health and fitness, if we reach one, we're doing a good job. Yeah. All right, so I ain't gonna keep you too long. I know you're busy. So we'll wrap it up. You can you can give them your information, your phone number, how to contact you, email, whatever it may be. So
yeah. Well, I am on Facebook, so that's probably the easiest way to reach out to me and DM me in that regard. Obviously, I'm at 5111 Salt Trail in Richmond Park, Illinois.
Is that this place?
That's this.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's right. You guys are here too. And if you guys need to reach the Underdogs, you need to stop by 5111 Salt Trail and talk to Earl and Chief. But I'm here. If you reach me on Facebook, we're Eminent Buckley Construction, we're Miracle Medical Transportation, and we can help you in either area.
All right. So that was a great interview.
Thank you, sir.
Great. The wait was worth it. Yeah. You know, and I really appreciate you taking your time to come and do this. I really do.
Well, remember you're called Sir Earl. So when Sir Earl calls, people answer.
So, all right. So that's the end of it. That's the end of this. And, like I said, I can be reached, sir01@comcast.net. You can give us a call at the club, 922-9650. Check Underdogs on top on our email on YouTube, right. Underdogs on top. That's where we do all our interviews. In this particular interview, you'll see this, and and just keep following us and keep reaching out to us, and look forward to it. So I want to thank Melvin for taking the time to stop through.
My pleasure.
I think this was a great time, and it definitely goes to show what we mean with this podcast, and that is health is not for just working out. It's for saving your life. It's all those things. So definitely thank you. Now, once again, I'm not going to take up no more of your time. I really appreciate it. Tell the wife I said hi.
I will do
Yeah.
that.
All right.
All right. Take
So
care.
thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
All right.